Here is where most dolls go wrong. Technically, both of these dolls work, but only one of them comes out tops in my books. Just to recap, both of these dolls have a cone-shaped head with a structure on the inside of the doll and a spine that goes all the way to the top to hold this into place. They each have a separate wig that's been sewn on afterwards. This one uses thicker yarn, this one uses thinner yarn. I technically build these things to stand the test of time, but will it actually hold the weight? Let's find out. Every piece in this dollhouse has taught me something different about how toys can be structured. Crochet dolls have a very particular set of structural problems. All the weight naturally sits at the top of the piece at the head, and adding hair to the piece makes that problem worse. You would think that hair would sit on top of the head, but the bulk of the weight of a wig sits at the back of the head and naturally then pulls your head backwards. This mermaid is an example of that. For hair that sits flat on the head, we don't have that same problem, and that makes sense because there's a lot less weight at the top of the head to pull your head in any direction. I am making two miniature versions of myself, and I have a lot of hair. So for these two toy maker dolls, I am going to be testing how to make a lot of heavy curls, and I'm going to be using two different types of yarn to test which ones are going to hold up better. For this week's experiment, I wanted to test two different types of yarn. The one is thicker than the other, and I'm assuming that the thicker yarn is going to give me thicker and heavier hair, and the thinner yarn is going to give me thinner or lighter hair. The yarn that you choose is important. I use 100% cotton for all of my projects. Ideally, using a synthetic yarn like acrylic or an animal fiber like mohair, alpaca, wool would probably work best for hair if you're looking to make a lot of hair, because those yarns tend to make a lighter fabric. I'm using what I have, and I promised myself I wasn't going to buy any more yarn. Ultimately, I'm testing how much weight I can put on the head without it falling over. And just from an aesthetic point of view, I don't want the dolls to be top heavy, because whatever we put at the top, we're going to have to balance it out with clothing or accessories at the bottom. The piece needs to be balanced, not just physically, but visually as well. I'm holding two yarn strands together to give that black and white salt and pepper effect, but for the most part I'm using black yarn. So please just bear with me, because the thing about black yarn is that you cannot see where the stitches are. You also cannot see where the mistakes are, which is not a bad thing. It's not a good thing either, especially if you are a beginner or if you are old and your eyesight is starting to fail. Cotton yarn is notoriously difficult to work with because it is hard on your hands and can cut you if you are not careful. Out of all the yarns that you get, it is the most suited for making crochet toys because it is so durable. You can work with one strand of yarn over and over again, and the yarn for the most part will keep its shape. It also won't start fraying, which is absolutely fantastic. More so than any other type of yarn that you would use. With cotton yarn, you can see the stitches. The stitches are quite defined. And it is that stitch definition that gives you the illusion of texture. With acrylic or mohair or animal types of yarn, fuzziness of the finish, that's what gives it a texture. With cotton, it is the stitches. At the beginning of the video, I spoke about how the hair sits not on the top of the head, but more towards the back of the head. I don't know if you've noticed, but I prefer to make my dolls' heads with this cone shape. Traditionally, you would see that a doll has a round head, like a person. However, having a round head for a doll means that there is more surface area to cover if you want to have hair. So that means more hair, and we want less hair. With this cone shape, the wig sits at the back of the head and it almost sits in the head and becomes part of it as opposed to laying on the head, if that makes any sense. And this is because there's less surface area to cover with hair, which makes the hair lighter. I use this cone shaped head for dolls of all sizes. With bigger dolls, having a lot of hair is a lot more forgiving because there is enough weight at the bottom of the body to hold the entire structure into place. With smaller dolls, it's a little bit difficult because there isn't enough space. With bigger dolls, it doesn't matter how much hair you have. It's almost like the more the merrier. But with smaller dolls, it is very noticeable. And it does get to a point where there is too much hair from a visual point of view as well. Just something to note. The trick to having the perfect hair is having a structure on the inside of the body that's going to hold your perfect hair up. Over time, though, longer hair is going to tilt your head back. And I stand corrected here, but I don't think you have as much of a problem with a bigger doll than you would with a smaller doll. As much as I love crocheting pieces in one piece, I have tried crocheting the hair straight onto the head before. The biggest advantage of this is that there's less hair at the top and therefore there's less weight. There are, however, a few reasons why I don't often use this method. The first one is that it is awkward to hold the doll and crochet the hair at the same time. I could have crocheted the hair straight onto the head if the head was a separate piece, and as I say that, I realize I should have actually tested that with the doll with the top down head. In my previous video, I showed you how one of these dolls has a top down head, which is a separate piece, and the other has a bottom up head. Another reason is that if you are crocheting the strands straight into the head, you can see the scalp color peeking through the hair. And for some reason, the joints on the head are very noticeable and it lets the hair, it's weird, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. With this method, with a separate wig, I have a lot more control over the stitches and how they look and how the strands can move. I'm sure someone's going to tell me in the comments that I could have glued this wig on, but I don't trust glue. To my understanding, glue loses its stickiness over time. With this way, I just prefer to sew this thing on as tightly as I possibly can. There's probably a meter's worth of stitches in this head. This wig is going nowhere. In any case, if you are making toys for kids, kids are rough and they pull on things, especially hair. Chances are that the wig can come off if you glue it on is a lot higher than if you just sewed it on. It takes longer, but it's a lot more secure. In case you were wondering, each of these wigs took between 6 and 8 hours to make. Each. So was all this effort worth it? And what did I actually learn from this exercise? To recap, each of these wigs are made with the same pattern. This one has an extra row of strands at the bottom, which is what I usually do. But for this one, I realized I could actually eliminate an entire row of strands at the back of the head. So bonus, there's less hair. These individual strands are thicker because it's made with thicker yarn. This is made with thinner yarn. This is mercerized cotton. I don't know if I said that before. Except for those two differences, both of the wigs fit perfectly on the head and the weight of it doesn't push the neck back, which is exactly what I wanted. Never forget that your hair should support the shape of your doll. It should not compete with it. Every toy that we make from this point on for the safari story is going to mimic this kind of structure in some way. Safari animals are top heavy with lots of hair, for example, like the lion. We're going to be using the same principle as we use for the dolls, but for the animals. The full tutorial build for this with the pattern is on Patreon or on my website if you don't have access to that. Did I get it right? Same. Next, we are going to start playing with clothing. See you in the next video. Polly, what do you think? Do we like it? Polly, do we like it? You really are just so boring. Oh well.